So this will unfortunately be the last update video of my final major project, because due to circumstances we've been cut short, a week shorter than our original date and 3 weeks shorter than our extended date. Before we were told we were going to be cut off, I spoke with my tutor and we discussed a few ideas in that changing my film into maybe a series of videos rather than one solid video, and also perhaps to make my final piece a trailer or a proof of concept for the film rather than making the film, so that I could spend that amount of time left perfecting something shorter rather than trying to squeeze a half an hour long video and to make something smaller and better quality. Since my last update, I finished a draft of the script. I'm calling it a draft because I'm not particularly happy with it, but obviously I don't have time to perfect it, so it's just a draft at the moment. And then I also designed some titles for each segment, so whether that would have been a series or just segments within one film. I've made a different title for each of the parts. I designed a few and then animated some that I particularly like. So I did a chalkboard, like drawing on a chalkboard for the sisters throughout history. I did a book opening for the sisters in stories. That one was particularly difficult. I sort of did it by hand and I didn't work from any reference or anything. I just tried to remember what a book looks like when it was opened, and I drew each frame out. So I was quite pleased with that, even though it was just a test. It came out better than I thought. And for the last one, I did sort of like a bar chart extending for the Science of Sisters part. I was quite pleased with those, and it would have been cool to see what they could have turned out like if I had spent some more time on them rather than just treating them as short tests. I also designed some characters or icons of the sisters throughout history part, so that's what I would have used to illustrate the stories that I would have told. I decided to do them as little photos or paintings of the sisters with like limbs and things to move around, and I would have done maybe some stop motion paper animation to illustrate the stories. For the Science of Sisters part, I was going to do some rotoscope animation, which is where you draw over each frame of a video. And the videos I was going to use were some Super 8 stock footage of like old families, like old brothers and sisters or sisters together. I collected a bunch of clips that I might have used, but I obviously didn't get time to animate those. And the last thing I've done is I've test shot what it would have looked like if I had gotten a chance to reshoot the interview with my sisters. I put us either side of a table and had one camera pointing at either pair. It looked nicer, and we felt more relaxed, I think, because we weren't so cramped together, so that was looking promising as well. Let's play that game where you say the number, and what's it, 21? You got 21. If you say, okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21. You just like that. She's your favourite. No. Okay, Molly's out and you start this time.
It's about competition.
2,
3, 4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
11,
12.
You mouth the number.
13, 14, 15,
16, 17, 18,
19, 20.
Thank you, Kaylee. Well, I have to go head to head with you now. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they were conspiring this whole time.
6, 7. Oh, yeah. 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't count. 6, 7,
8,
9, 10.
11. She's mouth in the numbers. 11, 12.
That's actually gets you.
Yeah.
13.
No, you're counting it in your head.
No, I'm not.
Okay, fine.
13, 14. No, because I don't know how
You
many
don't
you're
have to
doing.
do that though.
13, 14,
15, 16, 17.
18, 19, 20.
They're doing it on.
Who's the winner?
Isabel. Okay,
Well, let's play slide.
So if we had gotten the chance to continue, I think the next sort of steps after visualizing some things would have been to look at some other artists' work. I have two guys that I found in particular. One guy, I'm not sure his second name, but I know his first name is Chris. He makes videos on YouTube. He often makes some sort of about random things like travel and interesting things about the world's currency. But particularly what I like about his videos is he does really cool and really smooth paper stop motion animation, sort of for like simple things, even like title cards and stuff. He cuts out different letters or different objects to illustrate his points. So that was sort of somebody I was going to look into and sort of dissect his work to see how I could make my own work better. And the other guy is called Oswald Iton, and I couldn't find much about him, but I did find on his Vimeo page. He has lots of brilliant video essays, which is sort of what I was going to go for, a video essay and a documentary, because that's kind of the mix between those is what my video would have been. Particularly his video called A Very Rare Bear, which is about the animation of Paddington Bear in the movie. He's really brilliant. He dissects it all really, really clearly and uses lots of different examples and compares them to other animated bears and to show what it is about that particular animation that's so brilliant. He uses clips from the movie and he slows them down, and he draws over the screen to illustrate his points. There's a brilliant part when he's talking about his the way he talks and the way that the actor delivers the lines, and he uses like blobs of marmalade that come up every time, sort of to show the rhythm of his speaking, and it's just a really brilliant detail that I really admired. So there was a lot there for me to dissect as well and apply to my own work. And lastly, I had a last minute idea to bring in probably some more sisters. If the situation hadn't been as it is, I could have maybe interviewed some in person, but my plan was to sort of send them a few questions or send them one question and get them to record like an audio clip of themselves talking about their relationship with their sister and what it means to them, and sort of to get to widen the amount of experiences that I can talk about within my video. Of course, no two people are the same, so no two pair of sisters or group of sisters would be the same. So I thought it would be interesting to do that. I think I will eventually make this video down the line, maybe with more, when I have more time or more people to bring in to improve it. It's definitely become a new interest of mine is to make these sort of things. I could see myself making more in the future. And I'm quite looking forward to the next steps in which I can work with a team of people rather than it all sort of being on me. Because I think these things can get a bit big, and the more people, the lighter the load, I suppose. Okay, so that's everything. Thank you for listening to me ramble, and yes, goodbye.